Right, so can you hear me? Great. So right now, basically I'm looking for Asia's high because we are in seek and destroy conditions. So I'll be focusing on Asia's high, basically this high right here. And right above we have the new week opening gap once again. Because um, London session Q1 has taken out Asia's low. So I am anticipating a run into Asia's high next. So usually seek and destroy during the London, you will take out both sides of the Asia range if Asia is in consolidation. Okay, so basically, if you're just looking at London's quarterly theory, you'll find that Q1 was um, trending downwards. So typically, you would expect something like this, right? But because on overall context and narrative, we are in seek and destroy, so that theory cannot be applied. So the higher time frame kind of depicts or kind of restricts what goes on the lower time frames. So it's always nice to zoom out. If you see something that you think is panning out, you need to zoom out to confirm that that is the case on a high time frame as well. So let's take a look at euro as well at the same time. During London, price usually moves a little bit slower than New York. So, which is why I am toggling around for this session. So, in an event like this, what I'm looking for and what I'll be focusing for euro would be within this range here, 1 to 1.5, and I'll look for PD arrays that are lined up within this area. So the most obvious one that I can point out would be the inversion fair value gap right here. So overall on a weekly time frame, what I'm looking and what I'm anticipating for euro is some accumulation right here. Okay, and then in Q3, I'm gonna displace higher and then start the distribution lower. Right. Ignoring the time frame that I use to draw the arrow. Okay. So basically, this is going to be Q2, and Q3 would see some stop hunts, and then Q3 onwards we'll see the distribution lower into higher time frame objectives if it is going to present that way. Okay, because in the bigger picture we're still in Q1 of October, so don't really have much expectations of the markets. This right here is the current dealing range that we are in, and if price is true that it wants to attack the highs here above 50%, we should see parabolic price action attacking the high, okay, attacking the buy side liquidity, which we are having so somewhat right around this swing low here. Okay, we don't really want to see deep retracements. We want to see short retracements into IOFVDs and then higher. So other than Asia's high, what else do we have? We have this high here that's within the Monday's range. Okay, so what I've also marked out Monday's high and Monday's low. So I believe when price takes out Asia's high, I think it is possible for price to overextend to take out this high here and into the consequent encroachment of the new week opening gap, which would come in right about 43.39.25. And that will line up nicely with the breaker as well. The breaker is right here. High, low, higher high, the low that made this high, price closing down, breaker, inefficiency, and you get the short here. I mean, based on yesterday's price action, when it reverts back up, I believe this breaker is going to be a cause of concern for the run up if it was to run above this high. And if so, you can compare it to NASDAQ. For Nasdaq, past previous week's high is here, and it is also a weekly CB. So that is a significant level that I think price would like to gravitate to before considering lower prices. And if Nasdaq is able to do so, that would be SMT when you compare it with ES. Friday, and then you get the Friday here. So if ES is unable to claim this high, once Nasdaq claims it, you have an SMT and you have ES on the leadership of bearishness for lower prices. If that is the case, that's what I'm saying, because overall we are in seek and destroy. So now that we are in Q3, I am looking for a short-term swing low. It could be this low right here. Okay, it could be this low. I want to see price attack a swing low. Okay, I'm marking out this as the inversion fair value gap. I want to see price stay above, or I want to see price supported if it ever comes down into this area here for a long into Asia's high. But I would require a stop hunt to consider a entry. And also at the same time, we have the breaker here on the 1 minute time frame. Okay. Euro. For euro, I'm thinking the highs here, the inefficiency and the highs here. I'm just thinking. Yes, because Q1 was expansion. So Q1 meaning Monday was expansion. Therefore, on Tuesday, most likely you're going to see consolidation or basically choppy price action. Right, so for EU, I've highlighted the inversion and also the breaker. So let's see if it wants to attack the highs here. That would be Asia's high as well. If I'm trading EU, my entry would be on this breaker and my stop loss would be right here, this swing low here. I don't want to see price trade or close below this inversion fair value gap. But I'm not trading right now. I would prefer this swing low to be taken out before considering an entry. That is my preference. It doesn't mean it would happen, but that is my preference. If Q1 micro session is going to be choppy, that is good for the following sessions to come, especially Q3. So I'm liking this price action right here. Euro price had a consolidation from 12 to 130, and in Q2 price had a manipulation and took out the low on 1 minute time frame. Yes, right here. Was there any SMT? You can look for SMTs. So it's right around 2. Dollar made a higher high. Euro and GBP refused to make a lower low. So that is your smart money reversal. And then during the Q2 of that London session, you could have played a trade here. I mean on a bigger scale, yeah. So 130 right here. So your through open is right here. Through open for Q2. So in that case, your entry could be here, or it could be on this breaker itself. What was significant about the low that was manipulated on euro? You've been like this low. I'm not looking at this low. I'm looking at this low. So if you look at DXY, this low right here, DXY made a higher high. Okay. Euro did not make a lower low. So this by itself is SMT. And when there's SMT, and then you have a shift in market structure. So what is your shift in market structure? When price is able to close above this consecutive down close candles, that would be your shift in market structure right here. So your entry could be inside of this breaker, or you can use your fibs, swing high to swing low 50%, fair value gap here, inefficiency. Right, I'll just zoom in a little bit. So inefficiency 50%, fair value gap below the true open, and that could be your entry. Targeting the equal highs here as your initial target. Okay, your first profit taking target. So how high can this go? You use the fibs, swing low, swing high, 2 to 2.5, that's above here, and then 2.5, that would be the highs here. Okay, and then once you see price starts to close above 2.5, we're definitely going to 4, and in the vicinity of 4 we have these highs here, so it could overextend. That would bring you to about 5, I think. So if I put the fifth right here, okay, I hope that answers your question. Um, Not really, not really. Doesn't really have to, and you don't really want it to if you're expecting a reversal. Okay, so because it is unable to take out this liquidity pool here, and then you have your SMT that validates your reversal when price had a shift in market structure right here. So if euro is unable to take out this low, it means that euro is bullish. It's super bullish as compared to DXY. And if that's the case, you're anticipating a low resistance liquidity runs to your objectives. Previous quarter low, etc. Yeah. But bear in mind, keep in mind that it took out the liquidity pools here, just that it didn't take out the low of this quarter. If you are saying it did not take out the low of this quarter, right? But it took out liquidity pools. So technically, it had a run on liquidity before moving higher. Technically, okay. Yep. So this is why if you if you do not apply ICT concepts with context and narrative, that is why people you see his students some of the students targeting this equal lows. Okay, that's because they forgot to apply context and narrative behind the idea. So basically they are waiting for this lows to be swept before moving higher, but price has already moved. So you have to have context and narrative and also intermarket analysis as well. So the reason why I was able to trust the lows here, I will be able to trust the lows here is because of DXY's S&T. Okay. Right. So for ES, this is very nice. This is exactly what I want to see. So Q2, I'm anticipating manipulation for sell side before reversing higher in Q3. So I'm just gonna wait for that for the end of Q2. Right now we can watch Euro. So if you're, let's say, if you are trading um, Euro here, how would you like to trade Euro here? Let's see. Okay, so your objective is the inefficiency above here. Okay, I'm gonna keep the fibs on. And this negative 4 standard deviation here. Q1 you have expansion. Q2 you want to see price move in an opposite direction, preferably taking out a sell stop. Okay, there's no inefficiencies here. Right, on the 15 minutes. Okay, I think for me personally, I would just wait for the breaker to be traded too. Alright. Right above the breaker, we have sell stops here. So I believe, not believe, but if I'm trading, I want to see this taken out, trading into the breaker for my entry for higher prices above these highs here. If I don't get that, then I will not enter anything. I wouldn't trade anything. Okay. So the sell side would be this sell side here. So if it makes a run during Q2, that would probably mean that I have missed a trade. Okay. So another thing to note that is if you are anticipating seek and destroy profile on the weekly, it's always better to trade with news drivers. So why? Because as you can see, the price is quite lethargic during the London session. Okay, there's no news drivers here for the US indices. All right, we're approaching the low that I was looking for. Now, if and when it trades below the low here, I want to see aggressive price reaction away from the low. Okay, so I'm treating this low as turtle soup. So for turtle soups, I want to see aggressive price actions away from it. So something like this over here. Okay, or something like this over here. Aggressive movement away. All right, let's see if it touches the breaker's high. Okay, so now let's watch for the reaction. The breaker is these two up close candles here, right? So it can come down all the way into this inversion fair value gap, but personally, I don't really want to see that happen. I want to see preferably this low kept intact. Okay, right now I'm waiting for a swing low. Once a swing low is formed, I want to see reaction. choppy indices. Okay, we have a swing low here. Okay, I want to see the willingness of price closing above this fair value gap. So now, judging from the reaction, it doesn't seem too good if I'm long here. Okay, because it has ran this sell stop, I'm giving this a last chance. Like let's say I'm in a trade, my stop will be here, right? So I'm giving this run a last chance to prove itself. If it does not close above this fair value gap on the following candles, I would close my position. Okay. All right, I will close my positions right here because to me it doesn't matter anymore. And at the same time, price has closed below the consequent encroachment of this fair value gap here. I'm closing it almost at break even, and I'll see if price still wants to remain bullish to go higher. All right. But of course, if you have participated in my previous tape reading session, you will know that I only enter in Q3. So all this action here doesn't really matter to me. Okay. So timing is very important. And this is not going anywhere. Alright, so price has reached into this inefficiency here, and if you look to the left, this inefficiency here was used to send the price higher above this swing high. Alright, so let's see if this wants to present a resistance for lower prices. But on the higher time frames, we are still bullish, okay? We're still bullish. When you tape read Q2 while waiting for your entry in Q3, you're gauging the strength of the price action in your direction in Q2, right? And if you choose to enter in Q2, then you need to be able to weather all this chop over here, and then you need to trust your stops. So price may not move immediately after your entry, and in terms of my personal character, I am not that pro at this, so I would rather wait for Q3. Alright, so now price has closed back above this inefficiency here. I'm gonna move this here. This will be your proportion order block. So you don't really want to see price starts to trade below the mean threshold of this order block. And at the same time, you want to see price getting supported right here. So now, let's say I was in the trade. Let's say I'm still in the trade, basing off of that 5 minutes breaker. I would have trailed my stops here. Okay. Look at the indices. If it reaches Asia's high, if it attacks Asia's high in Q2, I'm gonna assume that this is gonna be manipulation. Okay, I'm assuming that this is gonna be manipulation, but we shall see. And so we have arrived in Q3. So one of the objectives has been met, which is this fourth standard deviation. We have one more final objective here. Okay. So let's say um, I am what do you call it? Let's say I am anticipating an entry into this higher, and from here I've seen that the price has done this. I will be waiting and I'll be doing nothing for Q3 because right now I am quite sure that the drawn liquidity is here, but because the price is already very close to this area here, and unless it wants to present a opportunity retracements into 50% of this entire range here, if not, I am not interested at all. Okay, so 50% of the retracement would be this order block right here. So if it doesn't give that before getting up into this inefficiency here, I would not be interested. Okay, over here as well, same thing. After that has taken out Asia's high, I'm not interested anymore due to the fact that we are in seek and destroy. So Q3 may just be very well reversal and then taking out of the low made in London. Okay, made in Q1 of the London session. So let's see if it does so, or we get a continuation higher. Okay, let's pull up the Fibs. Alright, as you can see, all targets have been met. 2.5, 4th, and 5th. Okay, so right now I have no bias for ES except for retracements back into at least 50% of this entire range here, which would be taking out the low here, right? Let's see if it does so for during Q3. Likewise for Euro, target has been met. Okay, so right now, let's see if it retraces back into 50% of this entire range, which would be back to around this area here, right? This red dotted line is consequent encroachment of the hourly candle wick. Okay, basically this long wick here. Okay, 50%. So if price is able to trade below and price is showing signs of um, bearish order flow, I might take a short into the low here, right? The low that made the high. Let's see where's Nasdaq. Right, so we have SMT here. Nasdaq is failing to take out Asia's high. So SMT, bearishness leadership on Nasdaq on the lower time frames. So yes, I believe we're gonna reverse. Right, let's see if price is able to come back up inside this area. This fair value gap here. Paper trading, yeah. Nah, you don't have to say sorry. You can just rewatch it later on. So at any point of time, if price closes above the consequent encroachment of this fair value gap here, I will cut my short. Okay, stops is above this high. Let me see if there are any inefficiencies that I can target. Well, I like this volume imbalance here. Oh, my target is this low. Let's see. Let's see if it's able to reach down here. We have a 15 minutes inefficiency. That would be around this low here. Alright, so let's use the projections. I think this would be safer. So I'll be switching back to my original target. Now let's look at Euro. Okay, I'm looking at this swing low, right? Let's see if it wants to reverse. I'm looking at the swing low here. So for ES, in any case that it wants to take out this high here, I want to see immediate reaction away. If it starts to hang around this high after taking it out, if it starts to hang around above or within this inefficiency here, I'm gonna cut my trade. But let's see. Let's take a look at NASDAQ. Okay, so price has taken out this swing high. I want to see immediate reaction away from it. Right, so this is exactly not what I want to see. I want to see immediate reaction away from it. Okay, I'm not trading yet. This is just paper account. Right, so at the close, I think, yep, stopped out. Okay, so this is why seek and destroy. Usually, I would much prefer to trade with news drivers. Okay, without news drivers, it's low probability, which is also why I'm tape reading today. I mean, during this session. So now I'm gonna ditch ES. I'm not gonna look at it anymore. It has invalidated my analysis, right? So let's head over to Euro. Right, so if you're anticipating a reversal, like how I was just now, this price action right here doesn't seem like it wants to reverse, okay? Mm. Alright, I think there's nothing else anymore because we have expansion in Q2. Q3 is going to be most probably some form of consolidation. So, if there are any questions, if not, I'm gonna end the session. Alright, so since there's no questions, I will be cutting off the stream. Alright, thank you for watching, and see you in the next one when I'm free and when I'm not trading. Alright, may you have a good trading week.